Yeah.
Now,
People do it. People do it. I woke up one morning, someone had Googled my house and had literally taken a photo of the street that I live on. And I immediately blocked and deleted it. And then the next day I wrote, stop Googling. My post was, stop Googling where content creators live. And I have cameras on my home for security, but I was like, no, don't do this. Stop doing that. Like it's really inappropriate for you to do that. And that's our space, our home. It's private, and so people they'll take it to that level. They will, as you keep growing on this platform, and a lot of people have had that experience too. It's like, no, back up. Don't look. It's not your business where we live. If we wanted you to know where we live, we would tell you. But yeah, it's not okay. They do that. It's obviously public information because at my house, it's and they can look that up. Yeah, but that's another thing. So that's you just make a post the next day and say, listen.
Now, I'll tell you what, Rachel, not to make light of that, but I suppose, Gregory, you might be able to tell me about this as well. I think it must be to do with the number of approaches that men make versus women make in the world, generally speaking, because I know you've said you've got male connections who get catfished and proposed. I'm gonna have to see what they look like, because I've only had one in 3 years. So people don't track me, or women don't track me down. So Gregory, have you been tracked down by many?
A few.
Have you?
It's here and there, where you'll just. I usually know, and I don't know what their intentions are, to be honest, because I usually get the hi, how are you, where are you from, kind of thing. I'm like, well, it's Kansas City. Look at my profile. I just move on. I don't answer. There was one person that I thought it was a genuine conversation. It wasn't, and started asking personal questions, and I'm like, yeah, my wife's not going to really appreciate this. I'm good, thanks. And she goes, well, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here, and just kept on pushing. I'm like, yeah, block.
And there's a lot of men, let's be honest, there's a lot of men who pose as women. It's so obvious too, right? There's a lot of males out there posing as women.
With what intention?
But they do it all the time. I can read through it immediately. There's a ton of males that do that because they want to gain your comfort and your trust.
I see, to get you on board as a
there's a ton of that, trust me. There's a ton of it's so obvious, the way the photo looks, and and then you can read right through it. You have to have your eyes open on social media all the time. You have to have your walls up. Never assume that person. Unless you really truly get to know them. It's obvious. Yeah.
Right. So this is something that came up on a previous recording. Who does a degree of due diligence before they accept a connection? Hands up. None of you? Oh,
I used to. But now,
I do some.
Most of the people I get are actually people who I've had a conversation with somebody who mentions them. Mm-hmm. And that's why my LinkedIn is not one of those with tens of thousands of whatever. Because I literally used to vet people. I wouldn't accept them unless I really knew them. And then, my friend was like, you should have, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. And I'm like, I'm not about that. I'm about serving people who want to be served by me. And that's not necessarily hundreds and tens of thousands. It's not.
No. But, Jackie, you still do some vetting?
Yeah, I do. And maybe I should caveat that with I've only seriously been on LinkedIn for the last couple of years since I started my business. Mm-hmm. But like the 10 years prior to that, I'd literally only go on to, if I changed my job or something, I just go and update my profile. Wouldn't give it much more thought than that. But starting the business and being during a pandemic as well, it